Hey guys, what's up? So I wanted to make this video to talk about a phrase or a word that has been said a lot in the inline skate community, and it's given the title, part of the title to many skate videos. Maybe the definition to me is different than others, or maybe it's similar. Someone did mention it in one of the comments in my last video, Witch on Wheels. Hi, Witch on Wheels. I wanted to talk about it because I find it kind of an interesting topic that does make us ask the question of how competent we are as inline skaters and how we can increase that competence with practice. The word, or two words I would say, is flow skate or skate flow. To me, skate flow means how graceful you are on your flow on skates. If you're a beginner, your flow might not be as good as if you are either intermediate or advanced. Obviously, right? Because you're a beginner. So your skate flow is the way that you move on skates. Is it graceful? You know, are you leaning too much on your inside edge? That's the main thing, especially with beginners. But that to me is what skate flow is defined as. Like your ability to maneuver on skates in a natural way, spectrum of ability. Like when you first start out, your ability isn't as great, right? You kind of stumble around, don't recover too well from maybe a crack. You might not fall, but you know, it's kind of awkward in the beginning, right? So your skate flow is still a beginner skate flow. Then when you become more advanced, your skate flow is very fluid. You move more like water. Your skates feel more like an extension of yourself. It feels more natural to you because you've been on your skates longer, so you're a lot more comfortable. So that is what skate flow means to me. It also means something else when you switch the words around to flow skate. Flow skate to me, which is what I see a lot as the title of many videos for inline skaters. Flow skate to me is your ability to be able to keep skating continuously regardless of whatever obstacles or challenges you face in your skate, in your path. So for example, maybe there is a pothole, and rather than, you could skate around it, right? Or you could jump over it. The point is you keep going. You don't stop abruptly to mess up your flow. If there is a big block in the way, maybe you skate on the block or over the block. The point is that you keep going. If there's a pedestrian in the way, you don't necessarily stop, but you know to go in a different direction. You might go in a full circle where you're at to kind of like wait for cars to go by. But basically you don't stop skating. You keep skating continuously with no interruption. To me, that's your ability to flow skate. As you get more advanced and you learn how to do jumps and things like that, and you learn how to kind of like determine your ability to maneuver around objects based upon whatever safety obstacles are in the way. Maybe there's a car coming and you're in the middle of the road. You can go around it, or hell, if you're like an amazing skater, you can jump over the car. I don't encourage that though. But what flow skate means to me is that the ability to kind of just keep going no matter what, whatever's obstacles in your way, you don't have to stop, you just go over it. That's what flow skate means to me. Flow skate may not always determine your level, your skill level, depending on where you are. What I mean by that is my flow skate is gonna be, I'm gonna be able to flow skate better or have a better skate flow if I don't live in a city where the areas where I skate are constantly, there's constantly an obstacle in the way that I can't really maneuver around. For example, if I'm on the sidewalk and there's a pedestrian coming, and if I go left, I can't go left because there's a fence in the way, and I can't go right because there's a car coming on the road. So The sidewalk's very narrow, so all I can basically do is, if there's no space between me and the pedestrian, or I have no option, I would stop. That really doesn't say anything about my skill level. It kind of says more about the place where I'm at. So I think that your flow skate is going to be a lot better if you're in a location where there's a lot of open space, right? But your skate flow, on the other hand, that doesn't change based on where you're at. It kind of changes based on your skill level, because you could still be a little bit awkward regardless of how much space you have to skate in. To be free, that's my ultimate goal, to just be able to keep going. Again, in certain places it's not really safe, but it could depend on your skill level, now that I think about it, because if there is a pedestrian coming, you could go backwards for a bit and kind of like, you know, let the person keep going until you find a space where you can go in a circle. The point that I'm trying to make, I'm not trying to confuse you, is basically flow skate is you can just keep going no matter what. Rather than stop, you can go backwards, go in a circle until whatever obstacle is no longer in your way. So it's an interesting word. It's nice to see other skaters out. I like to see more inline skaters as well. I haven't seen any around my neighborhood. When I skate in the narrow sidewalks, I like to kick my foot forward. So we got some sand here. Let's work. Balance on one foot comes in handy. Skate flow. Not good. You know, I didn't fall there with the camera in my hand. So you guys saw what I did there. Like, when I see that I'm gonna fall and there's grass next to me, I try to get on the grass. However, you also have to remember that since the grass slows you down a lot, you have to anticipate how much it's gonna slow you down and catch up with your running with the skates. Whew. Yeah, I'm a bit out of shape here. I'm breathing heavy. Because I'm talking a lot too, but I haven't skated so much since this quarantine. We're talking about going from skating like 4 hours a day to skating 30 minutes a day. Big difference. Right, so yeah, like I was saying, when I have to skate on the narrow sidewalks of my neighborhood, I like to kick foot forward to kind of get some speed. Kind of gives me a little push. Woo! All right. So part of the skate flow is also being able to go low. I'm still not sure how low I can go. I mean, I've gone as low as I have, but with practice I can go low. Look, there's a sandy area here, but I'm not comfortable going to the street to evade it because I can't see the cars that are coming because there's a car in the way. So this is what I mean by sometimes city skating isn't necessarily the best way to determine whether you have a good flow skate or not. Like, and there's a tree over there too. Obstacle evaded. No flow skate, fortunately. Little bugs everywhere. I don't know if you can see them through the camera. Some wearing glasses. You got all up in your nose too. It's better than some wood chips. Looks like the electric company's making some repairs. There goes my flow skate. And I'm not about to go around them because I can see what's coming. Now I can go in a circle. Oh. So yeah, city skating. You could get good at city skating. You could get good at any skating. I don't want to die. So my flow skate's gonna have to suffer. The expense of my life. I'm gonna go ahead and take the last of my skating this evening to practice on my backward skating. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'd really like to hear your comments about what flow skate means to you, how you approach improving on it, and also your skate flow, how you feel it's gotten, what you feel you could improve upon, whether it's backward skating, whether it's stopping, whether it's power stops, the strides. I'd really like to hear it. Alright guys, have a great one, and today's Monday, but tomorrow's Tuesday, a day closer to Friday. Peace.